Hi, welcome to CSS Tips and Tricks. I'm Stephen Korecki, and today's podcast we're going to go over how to create a rollover button uh, with a single image and some CSS. And let's get started. So you'll notice I have Photoshop open here, and I've created this simple little button. And once you're done creating your button, first thing you're going to want to do is save for web and devices. So do that by going to File and then Save for Web and Devices, and you'll get this little dialog box that pops up here. First thing you're going to want to do is set this to PNG 24 transparency on, because we have a little bit that's showing there, and so we want to be able to use that on any background and whatever. So we're going to save into our project folder. I'll just replace the one I did earlier. And so here it is. It's in right there. So first thing we got here is just a little A tag that's a link that we're going to be turning into our button. If we were to show you this in a web browser, as you can see, it's just a link, nothing special. Okay, so first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to give it an ID. So we're going to say ID equals, and then we're going to call it button. That seems to be simple. All right, so after we do that, that's not going to change anything. We're just giving it an ID, so it looks the same, nothing special. Now we're going to go back to our global.css file where we're going to write the style for this button. What we're going to do is we're going to want to call that button by its ID. So we're going to say pound button, and that's saying ID button, and then we're going to give it some properties. So the first property we're going to give it is width. We're going to say width is 150 pixels, and the height, this is important, is going to be 25 pixels. Now the image is actually 50 pixels, but by calling half of the height, we're only going to show half of the image. So then this way, when we reposition the background, you'll get the other half of the image. Thus how the rollover works. So now we're going to also put a text indent. I'm going to use some shortcuts here. And we're going to say negative. I do 9999 pixels, whatever you want, just something that's going to throw that text off the page. Now the reason why we do this is because if someone disables the style sheet, the text is actually still there, but it just will bring it back if they turn out the style sheet. So it's good for accessibility and such. Now we're going to say overflow. Again, I'm using some shortcuts. Hidden. And then we're going to say display block. And now we're going to set the background. So we're going to say background. And then we're going to say transparent. And then we're going to set the URL for the image. And then, so we'll do that real quick. Now it's just called demo_button.png. And now we're going to say 0 padding from the left and 0 padding from the top, and we're going to say no repeat. Okay, so now when we go to view our image, or our button in our browser, as you can see, hey, look at that, we got a cool looking button there. But as you notice, it doesn't hover yet, so let's add that now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say button, we're calling our ID, and we're going to say on hover, we're going to change the background position, and since we already called the other variables, we don't need to re-say, transparent URL and call the image again. All we have to do now is say 0 padding from the left, and now we're going to say negative 25 pixels padding from the top, so that's going to pull the image up. So now we'll save that and we'll preview our page, and as you can see, it rolls over just perfect. So this is a quick and easy way to create a rollover button with just a little bit of CSS and an image. So try it out, and I hope you enjoyed this first podcast. There'll be plenty more to come. Thank you.